Hey guys, how you doing? This is Brother Bill, and it's going to be the fourth garden update. This is the fourth week, so I want to take you through the garden once again and just show you where we are a week later. So let me get you flipped around here. Okay, and again, we're going to start here at the corner, and as you can see, here's our cucumbers. I'm getting down here with them at eye level. So they're climbing the fence as they should, and let me get you a little bit close. Look there, little bitty old pickle. Hey, that fence full of those blooms in there, so it won't be long. Within a week, we'll have cucumbers, probably less than that. But anyway, we've got this corn row here doing well. Let me walk up to it to give you an idea how tall it is. It is waist high, is where that's at right now. Here's that old crimson clover. It's still growing on the corn again. I'm going to give that to the chickens eventually. But I want you to see what that looks like when that comes into bloom. See that right there? Now, I cover crop a third of this garden here with that crimson clover, and it's to put the nitrogen back into the soil. And I learned that from Micah McGee over there at McGee Adventures Homestead. He does that for his corn, and it's worked well here ever since we've been doing it. We've been doing it about 3 years now, maybe 4. But anyway, I'm just letting that grow and let y'all see what that looks like. Next row here, we've got our green beans. That is a bush bean. That is a legitimate hand-me-down bean from long ago, and we've been planting that every year. Look at our sunflowers. They're about 4 foot tall, coming down through there in front of every row. And over here we've got the banana peppers, as you can see, and they're really putting on. And I got my tomato plants tied back up again yesterday, and as you can see, those, that's what that is. And these are also about 4 foot, 4.5 foot tall. The indeterminates are a little bit taller. Of course, that's those small tomatoes. They go a little bit taller, but I'll get you in there closer so you can see some of the tomatoes. But anyway, this row right here, or this, you can see this trellis here, that hoop. This one here is the rattlesnake pole bean. And then I've got another row of beans right here. I'm real excited about this row because that's an old Appalachian green bean. It's a greasy bean. A lot of folks don't grow those, but I remember my mama used to grow them all the time. But anyway, they're doing very well, and I'm pretty excited about those. And then here on the other side of the hoop, we've got a half runner. Just had some left over. Again, I put those out there, and they're doing well. Here's the other tomato row. I do have 50 tomatoes on each of those rows. I did notice yesterday, I've got 2 tomato plants that's got a, if I got time, I may show you on the other end. But anyway, they look like they got something going on with the leaves. It's not brown, it's kind of a grayish color. I don't know what that is. But anyway, we'll look at that. And then I've got this other row of corn. This row actually right here. Now this is where I threw the nitrogen, that red clover. There is a huge difference in what's growing in this area right here between the tomatoes and then over here to this green bean. That's where I put that nitrogen, that cover crop with that clover. And you can see this corn, it loves it. It's at least 8 inches taller than all the other corn. So there's something to that, I believe. And here we go, some more sunflowers right there. In this row right here, that is the white McCaslin beans. They're not doing as well as they have done in the past. It's kind of sporadic, and I've re-sown. Hey, we've got some, hey, look at there. I did re-sow. All right, so we got some more beans coming back up, so that's good. I'd like to be able to get that rest of this row filled back up because we've got gaps from about right there and then coming down through here. As you can see, it's all gapped up, and I don't like the gaps, so hopefully that will take over and fill back up. But anyway, when they do produce, they really put on pretty heavy. And now we've got these other 2 rows of corn here. This is the row that we're monitoring. That's the one with 150 corn plants. And we're just going to see what one row will produce. And I'll keep up with that when we harvest. Okra's looking good. It's coming up finally. At a pretty good pace. We need some heat. We did have some heavy rain, and that kind of slows the okra down, but it doesn't slow everything else down. Everything else seems to like it. But now the heat should be coming on. I don't know if you can see back through there, but I have got to get this tilled up. The weeds are going to take over if I don't. This is the row of cucumbers, pretty much 3/4 way down, and then we got cantaloupe and some butternut squash and spaghetti squash. This row right here is another row of corn. So that is 5 rows of sweet ambrosia corn. I'm going to put you on pause so you don't have to walk with me. Well, I don't know, you might want to walk with me. Let's see here, look at that creek. Like I said, we got some rain. And that creek runs right alongside this garden. Very fortunate where I'm at to be able to have that, because this is old creek bottom and it holds the water very well. And it's just really produced these several years that I've grown in it. Now here on the back side of that garden is just a small patch. Again, I need to get in here and till. You can see that weeds starting to take over. It's just too wet. Can't do anything with that yet. But this real small row right here is just some of that Indian corn, decorative corn. Me and my granddaughter like making things with that. That's kind of cool. And then here's our watermelon, 7 plants. Again, they're doing okay. And then we've got this other row of corn, and that's that Cherokee Indian corn too, or just Indian corn. And then, as you can see, it's just a test. I wanted to see if I could grow Timothy grass, and it's come up. Now the weeds will probably take over that, and that's okay. This is just a test. I want to be able to find out if I would be able to grow it here and see how difficult that would be to keep that up. And it looks like it's going to be okay. I'm probably going to cover crop this real heavy to kind of push back those weeds, and then do a replanting early spring next year and see if we can actually grow some Timothy grass for these rabbits. So this was just a test area. All right, let me get you flipped around. Here's the back side of the garden you're looking at. I'm telling you what, the Lord has blessed us. He always does, but He's blessed us again. He's always faithful to help, and when we need it, and even when we don't need it, He helps. We just don't recognize it, I guess. But anyway, look at those tomatoes. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And then this beans. I've noticed that I do have some rabbits hanging out on this side of the garden. I'm going to let them be as long as they're not chewing on my green beans. But if I start seeing these beans being chewed on, I'm just going to have to, I guess we'll have some rabbit stew or rabbit pie or fried rabbit. I don't know. We'll do something. But anyway, hopefully they'll leave it alone. Here is the cucumbers, and we will absolutely, looks like, be overrun with cucumbers. I mean, it's full of the blooms all through here. I've seen the honeybees. My neighbor Don, his wife Naranza, they have bees. They raise bees, and I'm getting their bees. They just live about a mile from here. So I see them out here all the time, and I'm again excited about this right here that you're looking at. These are the cucumbers I put in pots. That is 4, 8, 12, 16 pots. I've had trouble growing in the ground right here, and I'm not sure why. It could be because that Bermuda grass really gets underneath these plants and disrupts. Never thought that it would hurt it, but that's the only thing I can think of. I don't know why it doesn't grow good in the ground and climb this fence, but in these pots, they seem to be doing really well. The plants look great, so I'm hoping for those to climb. And then we got this squash coming up. It won't be long. Look there. So I had a groundhog that tried his best, or her best, whatever it was, to take out 4 of these, and I put up just kind of a makeshift fence to cover this area right here until they got up to a certain point, and they've left them alone. So that seemed to work. It's just old compost pile, and that's what I use to refill all these beds down on this road. I've got a compost pile. I'm going to be putting out a video here soon. But anyway, the compost pile in near the areas of the garden bed, the raised gardens, I should say, because that's what I amend all the garden beds before we start planting. Here's our onions. I've got one, looks like it's going to seed, and we will save that seed. And what the world I got going on there? That's a, look at that. That's a radish. That's huge. Okay. And then we've got this volunteer. Looks like a zucchini, maybe a squash plant, don't know. And we got our potatoes right here also. And don't have very many potatoes. I didn't have many to plant, but we put them in here and they seem to be doing well, like in this bed. Again, this is another volunteer. And here's that corn. And it's looks like about 2 foot, a little taller than 2 foot right now in that raised bed. Again, this is a 4 foot by 8 foot bed. And it's doing very well. This is the bed that I had problem with the fire ants. On the other side, I've got cucumbers running also. And that looks like some old buckwheat. It's come back. Okay, next up we've got our onions, and they're starting to put on some size, the bulbs. I pulled all that dirt back away from them, and they're coming on. And we've got these tomato plants in here as well. I do need to come in here and sucker these. As you can see right there, that's a pretty big one. I missed, but I'll come in here and get those suckered. But they got tomatoes on them already, and so they're doing okay. I've got a sunflower, in case you didn't notice. I love sunflowers. I just like them. No real reason. I just like them. But anyway, we've got more tomatoes in this next bed right there. I'm probably going to put something in this empty spot. I don't like, Pastor Chuck says I've got plants in every nook and cranny. And that's okay. Now, I'm just, hey, it's soils. We're going to put them in there and fill it up. And I know he's just giving me a hard time. But that's okay. Look at that. We've got squash and some more tomato plants. And I've got another empty spot. Guess what? We're going to put something in there too. Here we've got another volunteer plant. It looks like zucchinis, as dark as those leaves are. I don't know, we'll see. It looks like we got a sunflower deciding to come up. And that looks like another, that actually looks like a Market More cucumber leaf. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, when you're dealing with compost, you keep turning things over and stuff, you're gonna pick up seed here and there. And that's the cool thing about when you garden, because you don't know what's coming up. It's been dormant there for all fall and winter, and next thing you know, you got things coming up that you didn't even plant. Here is our carrot bed, and it's starting to go to seed. I have fed and fed and fed these rabbits and just cannot give them enough greens. Of course, you don't want to overdo it, because they have a problem with digesting all that green stuff, and it causes their poop to be runny. So we don't want that, but I do give them greens, a little bit of greens every day. And this is a bed. I did pull some radishes from here and gave those to the chickens. They enjoyed that. And I got some tomatoes here also. These are a couple of zucchini plants. This is where our sweet peas was. So sugar snap peas, I should say. And I went ahead and cleaned that out and put 2 zucchini plants in there. Okay, let's go up here. There's that peach tree. We'll not see fruit on that this year, but it's looking good. And these apple trees, 2 apple trees right there, real disappointed. A few years ago I had some really nice peach trees, and I had a beaver war going on. There were 7 beavers that I ended up trapping or shooting, because they come in and took all my peach trees down. And you could see the trail early in the morning when the dew was on the ground. You could see it going down to the creek. And so anyway, I had to take care of that. And anyway, they didn't go to waste. I'll just say that. Okay, here's our fig tree. It's doing good. And then up here, I've got to do something with this rhubarb. See right there? It's ready. It needs to get cut and put in a pie. A strawberry and rhubarb pie. Sounds pretty good. That's what I had last year. My neighbor gave me a little bit of that, and I thought it was awesome. And we've got zucchini plants here, and some, what the world is that? Good great. I put so much stuff out I can't remember everything. But anyway, we got zucchini. I think it's some kind of a cucumber. We'll find out soon, won't we? Okay, and I remembered the other video. This right here was a row of comfrey. It still hasn't come up yet. So I'm waiting on it to come up. Actually, you know what? I don't know, guys. Is that comfrey? I've never grown comfrey, but I want to grow it. Again, it's for the chickens and the rabbits. That might be comfrey that's come up. Oh gosh, boy, that'd be exciting. This is just an old poke salad weed. Look at that growing in there. Okay, that's that. We'll get you flipped around over here. Let's see here. I've got a new chicken coop coming today, just like this one. And we're going to take the chicken coop just like that, and we're going to put it right here. And we're going to run the same kind of deal that I got off of here. And I'm going to get rid of this one. And that other one back there I did use, and I'm going to get rid of that. Just a little bit of more uniformity in these girls. We've got 12 new chicks. They're about, well, new to us. They're going on 4 weeks old, and I've got them in a chicken tractor now. Put them in there yesterday, and you know what? I don't even know what kind they are. They got a little tuft. I think they call that a little tuft of feathers on top of their head. They're a beautiful bird. But anyway, got them at $1 a piece at Rural King. You can't pass up $1 chicken at the Rural King. So I got 12. I was waiting on my meat birds. They never came in. Disappointed on that. So we don't have meat birds to process this year. Hopefully we can get some in for fall and have them there because I don't buy chicken from the store typically. Every now and then, occasionally, I may get a rotisserie chicken from the Sam's Club, but other than that, I don't. We eat the chicken that we process ourselves. But anyway, here's that bed that had the broccoli, and now that the broccoli is gone, these tomatoes that were in here, I've got to get them tied up. These are indeterminate cherry tomatoes, and we will get them tied up, and they should start producing well. The onions are doing well also, and I've got some more empty spots, Pastor Chuck. Look at that. What do you think should go in there? I don't know. We'll find something. And then look right here. I've got 2 new zucchini plants there, and here we go. This is what's great about raised beds, because you get an early start on your plant growth. Look at that. Can you see that? Oh boy. So we've got 4 plants in that little round tub right there, and then more tomatoes, another squash, and I did get planted. I just tell you what, I may just have too many. These are actually cucumbers, and cucumbers don't transplant very well. But anyway, I may throw them in the ground. I don't know. I did get some more sunflowers planted out throughout the garden and through around the house. I planted 9 of those golden ray tomatoes. Again, that's an indeterminate, the small tomatoes. And we still got some more things that I can put in the ground when I need to. These will be replacements whenever the others go out finally, and those the vine borers, squash borers, whatever you want to call them, take over. You know how that works. I do got a little bit of broccoli left here. Again, I'll feed the chickens the rest of this today. And here's those golden ray tomato plants. This is where the cabbage bed was. So I've got rid of all the cabbage. This will be a bed of tomatoes. And here's the other 4 tomato plants that I have. Okay, if you don't care, I'll take you over here and show you these new chickens. I'm going to put you on pause so you don't have to go through everything. Hang on just a second. Alright guys, here they are. They got a great little color to them. Can you see that tuft on the top? I just call it a tuft. I don't know what it is. There's one of them that doesn't have it, but let me see if I can get one. They're a little bit skittish, but again, it's a new place for them. This is where I usually grow out. Here, again, I'm going to put you on pause so I can grab one. Hang on. Alright guys, I'm back. Look at this. Now, what kind of chicken do y'all think that is? See that little bit of feathers on top of her head? Beautiful bird. Kind of like a Wyandotte of some sort. That's what I'm guessing. They wasn't sure because there was a mix-up in the hatchery. I said, well, let me just get 12 of those. They all look the same, so we'll just see what they are. I have no idea what this bird is, but they're friendly. They don't mind you holding them, but they are a little skittish at first. New noises, of course, you know how chickens are. Everything new kind of scares them. But they're doing good. They survived their first night. And y'all leave a comment. Let me know what kind of chicken you think that is. And we'll just find out here soon enough, I suppose. I did notice there's a bit of a wasp nest over here I got to get rid of. Look there. See that? I got to get that out of there. I don't need them messing with no bees. Alright, put you on pause one more time. We'll take you up and finish this up. Alright, hang on. Alright, here we are in front of Gracie's beds. And here's that peppermint. It's taking off. Smells awesome. And there's some, I said buckeye is what this was. I just misspoke. I knew what it was. I just misspoke. This was buckwheat. I had grown some buckwheat there for the rabbits and last year, and some of it came back. So that's the peppermint. Her zinnias are coming on. Both of the beds. There's another sunflower. And look at these tomatoes. I gotta get them tied up. They are gone crazy. So I gotta get that tied up today. Get that done. And then more tomatoes. And they're starting to put on there. And this next bed, again, this is that bed that just, I'm not sure why it's doing so well, but it's doing well. Every single thing in there is green and producing. All out of one bed. I've got squash, I've got radishes, I've got onions, and I think, well, 3 plants, I think that's it. Squash, radishes, and onions in that bed. Anyway, they're doing awesome. And then here's that strawberry bed, not getting any strawberries. Again, the chipmunks are getting what they can. More tomatoes, and over there, that right there is the pumpkin plant, voluntary. And then up top here, we have our cucumbers, radishes, and more cucumbers, and then sunflowers in my log there, and some marigolds, that kind of thing. And this was the plant that we got off our first squash for the year yesterday. We took that to the pastor, being the first fruits, and we wanted to make sure he had that. It's just something that I like doing. To give the first fruits away to a man of God. It's just a good thing to do, I think. But anyway, there you go. Real pleased with everything. I've got to get out here and get weed eated done, and so I can start focusing again more on this garden. But I hope everybody's well. Thank you for tagging along with me. Hey, we're almost at 900 subscribers. If you could help out with that, a few more to get us over 900. Our goal is 1,000, and once we get to 1,000, hey, we've exceeded our goal, because we always thought we'd get about 100 and be done with it. But we've been going on for about 5 years now. We're not a big channel, but we still love doing what we do. We still love the Lord and serve Him, and we just want to be an encouragement to anyone who watches our videos. And hopefully you can get something from what we're doing. We're not doing anything new, I should say, that anybody else is doing. But anyway, thank you for coming along, and we'll see you on that next video. And until then, y'all take care.